City Council will meet in special workshop session at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 at the Blue Ridge Community Center located at 200 West Tilton, Blue Ridge, Texas, with the following items on the agenda for discussion. No action will be taken on any of the items listed below. So we'll call the roll, I assume, or not?
We don't need a
No.
roll call.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so item 1.
Yeah, so the discussion to clarify competitive bidding procedures and amount and HEB outreach requirement. This was brought up last meeting, if you recall. Texas statute says up to 100,000, and that we aren't required to go through the HEB process, but we're if at all possible, try to do 3 quotes. Right? Yeah.
And you got that list from? I got the list from the comptroller. Yeah, Texas
So
comptroller.
here it says 50,000, but we do 100.
Well,
It
Launch
just
it.
got
Oh,
moved
just
to
changed.
100.
yeah, remember it was like in the
Right.
yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
The teeny tiniest print
Yeah.
ever.
Yes. So it's 100,000 now, which is a lot, but maybe for smaller projects it's better that way because if you go through bid, you have to take the lowest price,
Right.
which is good in theory, but sometimes you get bad contractors. Where if it's a smaller project, it's maybe around 75,000, and you can be like a little bit more. Okay, we like this credentials, and yes, it's going to cost us 5,000 more, but we'd rather go with them than this one who's 5,000 less because of background and stuff like that. So it gives us potential. Now, streets or anything like that, it's going to be over 100,000. So
Right.
it's very rare case scenario where we'll have something that's under 100,000 and not have to go to bid.
How much should the downtown cost?
That was my thoughts too.
I don't really remember. It was over 100,000. It was
And-
like 250,000, I'm pretty sure.
Well, and it was a grant.
And it was a grant.
So that's a
match.
different scenario.
Yeah, that you have to go with the lowest bidder on a grant.
Yes.
And that was.
So who ended up doing that?
Infrared Construction. It was the first time they'd ever done a grant. If I would have known that it was an option and if it would have been my choice, I would have started the bid process all over again.
Did they design too?
No, so the city engineers worked with a grant team called GrantWorks, who kind of both went in on it because they have their engineers, we have ours, and a lot of stuff that was run into wasn't on the original plan because they'd run in like, oh, well, here's this giant water line. What are we going to do with it? So they had to move stuff around because you have to stay within that allotted amount.
Right.
So, I mean, because there was other stuff that was going to go up that we couldn't do. One, because when COVID hit, everything went through the roof. So a lot of stuff that was going to be done did not come to fruition because of prices. Not the greatest design, I agree. But, I mean, working with $250,000 to redo a whole downtown, it was
Nowadays, it probably
Yeah.
$500,000, if not a little
I
bit more
mean,
now.
probably more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, with grants, you have to go with the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
And it was a closed bid, so
Which was required for
yeah.
something like that. Any other questions on the number 1? It's not an action item, so it's not going to be in a regular session.
Okay.
No? Okay. 2, discussion regarding Blue Ridge ISD's request to connect to the city sewer system outside the city CCN. So everyone here is well aware where the school is wanting to do an intermediate school. And its location obviously doesn't have sewer connection anywhere close to it. And where it's located, it's not a water CCN, so it's not in our sewer CCN. Obviously, we have to extend to it. So we are not required, to give them sewer. And so the discussion was had with our engineers, Joni, I, and Brad, going to the school, discussing about options. The school is looking at a potential aerobic system or septic tank, the city option, or potentially a package plant, which their engineer said, don't do that. So basically, their only options is the aerobic system or going to the city. And because it's not our CCN and we already have agreements with developers to provide them sewer, we would have to expand our plant just a little bit to accommodate the 450 students and 50 staff that they are estimating for that school. So that usage we don't have available per se. We have it available, but we already have it contracted out, and it makes us go past the point of where we have to be planning for expansion of a plant. So our engineers have made up a plan to work with the school, saying we are able to provide you sewer immediately, but in the next 5 or so years, we're going to make a contract for the next 5 or so years. You're going to pay us yearly so we can expand the plant. So when development comes, we're not in that trouble anymore. The school didn't like that idea because it's going to cost them millions. And that's just to expand our, not millions, but like
It'll cost a couple million.
Couple-ish million.
Yeah.
That does include them having to do a well for fire suppression. That doesn't, include a pump because how ours is, it's gravity fed. They would have to get a pump to get it there. So that's extra cost. That's not associated with that couple million. That's just for
privately maintained pump. We would not take control of that pump.
So that $2 million is just for our plant expansion to accommodate their need to expand that CCN. And we would do the same thing with the developer who was outside our CCN and went to our sewer. Well, you got to expand our plant. And the developer who has not done that yet for a second phase, that'll be discussion with him. The school tried to come back at us about that. It's like, well, it was actually contracted to do so, and he was able to do improvements. The first phase, the second phase, we haven't gotten there yet because he's kind of stagnant. But when he comes back in, once the, per his contract, he has to do some more improvements. And so that'll be a discussion there.
Blue Ridge North
Yeah.
is the second PID. And Blue Ridge North is what paid for Pruitt to be redone. So Blue Ridge Crossing was the bar screen.
Yeah.
It was improvements on water and wastewater lines, upgrades, improvements. And then Blue Ridge North was Pruitt because they needed that connection to cross 78.
Yeah.
So that sewer capacity is going to Blue Ridge North because they just concreted a whole street. So,
and like I said, we contractually agreed to give them that sewer. So that's already, we can't take back a word because the school outside our CCN wants sewer, that
we're
could
not being
cause.
stubborn. We're just following our contracts that are already in place.
Yeah. We want to work with school, but, our hands is like, it's not our CCN. You probably should have thought about this before doing a bond, first off, having this good discussion now instead of, hey, we want to open in 2027 of August.
Yeah.
And they're now just starting what to do with water and sewer. Which, as we all know, probably should be the first thing you talk about. And they asked us that. It's like, yeah, you probably should have talked to us about that. They tried to say they did talk to Edie about that. But I think at that time, there was a multitude of options being discussed from the school. So it wasn't, they were talking to Steve G, they were, talking to the city. So there was not like agreed upon that we would do it at that time. So I think they thought they had more options at that time. And now they're realizing they don't have as many options.
So I wonder if Steve G's plant, is it too far down for him
He's
to
at
come over
capacity.
again?
Yeah.
Because they only build those package plants
For certain.
to capacity. So there's no point in going over because they know exactly how many homes are going to be within that municipal utility district.
And he's already has a plan for a auxiliary power station there and another school right there. So,
I personally don't understand why they just wouldn't do an aerobic system. I mean, because I mean,
Maintenance?
you're out.
Maintenance and expense.
Yeah, that's the only
But you're
thing.
gonna run it, I mean, which is offset it though. I mean, look at the cost of how much it'd be to come into
And that's
us.
true, but
versus
if they connect
do
to
this,
city
so.
sewer, then they don't have to worry about any kind of maintenance, repairs, because they're going to connect, but it would be, essentially, it would be a city line.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if there was backup or anything like that, then
Our guys would
our
go.
public works
Yeah,
department
but they'd
would
have
take
to do
care
a lot
of
of
that.
repairs and maintenance for $2 million.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna- yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it's gonna cost them a whole lot of
Yeah.
money to come to even
To
do
us,
it, to even
yeah.
come to
well, that's why
install.
they're doing
Yeah.
that statistics and figuring out how much it's gonna cost to, install that, because,
Mhm.
I'm not sure, I have no knowledge of how commercial septic tanks work, but with residential, they have a lifespan, and they have to get dug up and replaced. And this is an intermediate school with 4th through 6th graders, and who knows what they're gonna stuff and damage with the septic tank, so they
Flush
got,
down toilets,
yeah, so that's something they have to think about, is like, well, is it worth, let's say, every 30 years having to replace the septic tank? And then also probably yearly have to get it drained and maintenance and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So,
But we don't, I'm not clued in on, I know how much a residential septic costs, and that's not cheap. So,
Who
and
knows?
the maintenance that goes into that every month. So there's no telling what goes into a commercial grade
especially for
septic.
500 people.
Yeah, plus I don't know if they have the acreage for spray, because you have to have a certain amount of acreage for your spray when you do septic, and I don't know how much that is for a commercial
Yeah.
industrial size septic tank. So I don't even know if they have the area for a septic.
Yeah.
So they might only have the choice to upgrade and connect to our city sewer. But that's for their engineers to worry about. We're not worried about that. If they're gonna do an aerobic system, that's all them. But our engineers did draft a letter of intent that has everything broke down on how much it's gonna cost and how much engineering is gonna cost, because of course that's the first phase.
Mhm.
So that is going over to the ISD soon, because we just got it blessed by the attorneys, so. We'll see if they wanna,
Bite off that chunk.
bite off that chunk, or if they wanna keep going towards commercial / industrial septic.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that's,
Is anybody's phones near? Okay.
Bite off over here.
any more questions in regards to number 2? Okay. Discussion regarding volunteers for planning and zoning committee. You should have something in your packet in regards to that.
Well, it was just, we only have those. That's the discussion. Yeah. So I sent the people an email that turned in, and everyone said they were still interested. So that was, Wendy told me or requested that I just send an email to everybody to make sure they were still interested. That's all this is.
Yeah.
They're all still interested.
And so
Yeah.
it goes for Kevin, Christine, and Kelly.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
So, next meeting, we'll approve those applications to be part of the planning and zoning, so in December. Code enforcement pricing, it was requested by
On this P
Wendy.
and Z for a second,
Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I just did it, so that we can get more people in the city interested. Can we send a text blast or an email blast out, I guess, like you do water bills?
Yes.
To
Yeah. I
ask-
remember y'all asking that last time. I'll see if I can draft something up, because Crystal usually does the text alerts.
Okay.
And we'll get that out. I'll have to come up with like a link to show, this is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I may have another alternative to get members for P and Z.
What's that?
I don't know when I can talk about it.
Well, no,
This is a workshop.
yeah, it's a
so we can
workshop. We're on P
discuss
and
it.
Z.
We're-
Go
okay.
for it, yeah.
I called TML Legal today and asked them if they could tell me whether it's a statutory requirement that we can only allow people that live in the city to be on planning and zoning. And he said there is no state statute stating that.
So what,
However, he said that is done by ordinance, which is what we have. Our ordinance states that they have to be in the city. But, you know, there's no statute that says they do. I mean, so I asked him, I said, well, could we do like one person in the ETJ? And he said, yeah, you just put it in your ordinance. So I was going to suggest that we do that and kind of open it up a little bit more to encompass people that live in the ETJ, because we sure are getting a lot of ETJ plants and stuff.
So I actually, when you emailed that to us today, I went through legal as well, and it's two.
211.007A.
That says because it is a city board, and we don't, like in the ETJ, we can give our subdivision regulations, but we don't have anything to do with zoning in the ETJ.
Right.
So planning and zoning, it says it's a state law that people in the ETJ cannot sit on a planning and zoning commission for a city board, because
Okay, what
they're
was that?
making.
Could you give me that again?
Yeah, so it's Texas local, and I'm trying to give you the full one, but you know.
'Cause I've looked it up
Yeah.
numerous times and can't find it.
Texas Local Government Code 211.007A.
I'm sorry, 211 dot,
007.
A.
Now, if my phone would work, it'd be great. It says, the governing body of a municipality may appoint a planning and zoning commission consisting of members who must be residents of the municipality on the sheet I have. And, huh? I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I will, there, I gave these things. Okay, I just made it worse. And have you ever seen the Texas code thing? It's super tiny and then,
It's very tiny.
My glasses.
I got glasses. Oh, this is whole smokes. Okay, I said A.
He says the Texas government code.
Yeah. So, well, so what I'm seeing on 211.007A, it says, okay, get ready. To exercise the powers authorized by this subchapter, the governing body of a home rule municipality, that's home rule.
Right.
Shall, and the governing body of a general law municipality may appoint a zoning commission. The commission shall recommend boundaries for the original zoning districts and appropriate zoning regulations for each district. If the municipality has a municipal planning commission at the time of implementation of the subchapter, the government body may appoint the commission to serve as the zoning commission. Okay. So on that one, I didn't say about the ETJ.
It's that's at 211 and then 212. And then there's the attorney and general opinions on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I mean, there is legislature saying that we cannot do it, because essentially you're asking people who don't pay city taxes to make decisions for the people inside the city.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Are most people in the city on your text?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a lot that are.
There's a whole
Yes,
ton.
ma'am.
Even through the email one too.
Yeah.
Because don't we just need 5? Didn't we change the ordinance? to
Yes.
say 5? So maybe if we send that out, somebody within our, and then that way we're staying, within-
Yeah.
at least try that.
We're staying legal.
Say legal.
General
Sorry,
law.
I'm chopping it here.
Probably somewhere in here.
It is, but I didn't read through the whole thing. I just
But
got
you
the
saw in the
synopsis.
code
Yeah.
thing, okay. Because, no, that's Board of Adjustment. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to look too tiny.
I mean, I can
Yeah.
research it further, but I was just trying to get a general answer, and the general answer was that they couldn't because they are essentially making decisions for people who reside in the city without paying the city taxes or living within that city, even though they are in Blue Ridge. I mean, that was the summary that I was given from the
Is that
question.
what law says?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm trying to read it.
It's tiny. I'm gonna have to get it on
I
a
know.
big screen. Give myself a headache.
Adjustment, huh? I don't know why don't make it easier with all this technology.
I know.
Just what it is.
Yeah, I think the blast would be a good idea.
I'll, like I said, I'll get with Crystal and we'll draft something up tomorrow and try to send it out tomorrow.
And we do have 4 interested, so that is, well, 3 is a quorum. So
I mean,
we
you can
still,
still go with just the 4 that we have.
Yeah,
and
it's just,
because
then-
you have a quorum at 3,
Yeah,
just
then-
like the council sits right now, there's supposed to be 5, but there's only 4. Your
Yeah.
quorum is 3 unless it's a special session. So if we still wanted to go on with the P and Z board, we can still do that with just the 4 applicants that we have.
I don't know, I asked this of her about 2 or 3 months ago, and she did not get back to me. So that's why I took it into my own hands and called TML.
when you say
Yeah.
she,
The attorney,
Allison?
our attorney, Allison,
Okay.
okay.
I asked her in open session. I still want further clarification on that. I mean,
That's why it's only a non-action item for discussion.
I will do my best to find that and pinpoint where it says that, and I'll get it to you.
yeah, because I mean, what he told me, and I talked, his name was Tad Cleaves, was zoning issues would be problematic because they don't live in the city limits, but he didn't think anything else would have been.
And just for clarification, because it's different for home rule than it is for.
I told him we
tiny
were
utility,
general.
okay. Because I mean, I always make sure
Yeah,
the question
I
I
told him
ask.
that we were general.
Yeah, okay. I will look for more clarification, but like I said, the summary that I got, it clearly stated in big bold print, cannot fit on a planning and zoning commission.
And whose summary was that?
It was an AI summary, but
Okay.
I mean, so far they've done
You can't
pretty
rely
good.
on an AI.
Understood, but I will talk to the attorneys. I was trying to save a little bit of money and not have to go through the attorneys, but I will go through the attorneys just to get that in.
Well, let's go through the blast first and see
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
can get one city before we spend money on the attorney.
Okay,
Because
I
if we
will
can
do
get somebody in the city, then all of this is a moot point,
okay.
I think.
But you can always use TML. Do you use the TML
Oh, yeah.
legal research?
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
That was something else I was gonna ask further on down the line.
Any further comments, questions about number 3? Okay. The code enforcement pricing, that fee you see, that's just a monthly fee. So just think of it as a monthly subscription, no matter if it's 4 or 5 weeks, that's the price.
So my question is, how often are they scheduled to come out?
Oh, we see code enforcement when they were doing it before. They came out once a week to do patrol. And then that same day, they would get me the pictures and the code write-ups. So they come every single week.
Okay.
Because every 14 days, they have to do a re-patrol of previous.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like 1 week patrol, 1 week checking up on other things. So it's.
So per that contract, we're gonna have to pay like maybe a couple weeks extra.
Yeah, so they're charging for 48 weeks instead of 52
Mhm.
because of like holidays, of course, and then training. Because they are required for continued learning in order to keep that code enforcement title.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's how it was explained to me by Bob, the owner of the company.
So with the code enforcement, they don't have a court or anything like that we can,
Not yet.
Yeah, we would have to implement a court and
Mhm.
create a court.
because it just seems like that's the only thing that's gonna get anybody's attention, even if you have a code enforcement,
Yeah.
it's kind of like you still have to, bring
Yeah.
people
Well-
before something, otherwise some may fix it, some may not.
And like I said the last time, a good 80% of the people that get violations go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, let me fix it real quick, with one or two code nudges. But it's that there's like 2% where I can write a violation every day for the same thing and they will never budge an inch.
Mhm.
And those are the people we need the court for.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've written one before, or even code when actual code was doing it. They would write one, and I'd have people call it, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry." And that same man, who we wrote that one code violation for, every time he calls, he's like, "Hey, Crystal, tell Joni I've got this in my front yard, but I'm moving it by tomorrow." I'm like, he warns us now when he's gonna have something in his front yard, and I'm like, that's super cool, awesome, because that's the majority of what happens. But it's that I'd say there's a good 3% of people that just will not. They will not. So court is what we're gonna have to have for that 3% of people.
And that will be in the December agenda, a ordinance to create a court, and then court fees and the master fee schedule and stuff like that. Any further questions, comments? On to the action
When
items.
are we starting this contract with them?
November, it was,
We started
Yeah.
November 1st.
they should be here tomorrow. No, Thursday, sorry. Today's only Tuesday.
Now on to the action items. The first one is the proclamation for Aaron Schutz's Day. He created something, a flag retirement box at the fire department. And the mayor thought it was a good idea to give him his day, give him his flowers, so to speak, and honor him for doing such great work.
Now, will he be here? Okay, I thought so, because I was hoping it would, because we talked about going over there and getting pictures and stuff, but
Right.
since it's so dark, we're not gonna be able to do that, so.
So we'll just do it.
Linda
That
sent me a picture, and then I went over yesterday and took some pictures, and Crystal put together a little thing, so
Okay, perfect.
we can still see it.
Any questions on that one? Okay. 2 is the consent agenda. Any questions on the minutes or utility reports, anything like that?
I like how on the minutes, I certainly got initials. It took me a little while while I was reading the initials. I was like, what is this?
I was like,
Well,
used to be
that
out.
was
Oh,
on
that's
the,
me.
that was on the
It's like-
workshop
it's like, oh,
because
man,
it's
okay.
just people asking questions, but I
Yeah.
gave you a key at the end.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
I saw
so when
it.
I was reading, I was like, who is this, whatever.
Yeah.
So it took a while.
And those minutes took a minute.
Yeah, they did. Covered everything. And the replat Snow Hill Acres over there.
I think people are still digging through.
Okay.
I just don't want to move on until everything.
Is there a city administrator
There
report?
was supposed to be, it got missed
Okay.
when it was digitalized. The city report, I mean, out to the TML conference. It was good networking, knowledge. A lot of the speakers were cities were given awards for XYZ, and so they spoke, kind of did Q&A. So that was a lot of the presentations, so to speak. And then there was a couple. One was like etiquette, how to shake hands with somebody, how to properly sit, that was one of them. And then the keynote speaker was John O'Leary. And then at the end, there was a gentleman who's been part of Texas A&M's public administration office, which is a big thing in Texas that George H.W. Bush created or helped created. H.W. Bush, am I saying it right?
Yes.
The old one?
Yes.
That's HW.
H.W. Yes. And so he spoke at the end. But other than that, met some people, got some connections, so that's good. There's a vendor kind of setup where they try to sell you on items, try to give you a bunch of items to. The ag extension was trying to give out trees to everybody, and silly stuff like that. But I reached out to couple of them. One was Munibit about a website. Ours is very limited. What staff can do to it. Basically, we only have 4 color options. So if we, for some reason, let's say we wanted to do yellow as our main color, that would have been an option for a website. It was like blue, green, and some, I think,
Probably red.
red and
Sure.
gray, something
Yeah.
like that, And then when it comes to like online applications and stuff like that, it's very limited, and we can do with that too.
Ours is
And
very rudimentary. It's very,
it's affordable,
yeah.
and that's due to the cost. And Unibit is probably the next tier up. Then you get into like Civic Plus and which costs like 20 grand to do a website, and then to start up, and then like 5 grand maintenance. Where this one is only 2 times, give or take, what we currently pay, so less than $2,000 for a whole year, and you get this. That's what we're going to do a demo on Thursday. What I can gather, it's basically the same things we can do with Civic Plus and stuff like that for a fraction of the cost, like 1/10 of the cost. And that might be something we look at too, as we evolve. Because I was telling Joni, the next step for us, as we know, when it comes to staff, evolution and like hiring new staff, it's not going to be a 4th person for the administrative offices. We all know it's going to be police, and that would probably be the next 3-4 new hires, and then a person for water and wastewater. So that means as we grow and get more applications and stuff like that, we need a better website to be able to handle that growth, and our website can't currently do that. And so it's something to look into to give a better presence for new and future residents, and our current residents, to make it easier for everybody, and on staff too. To kind of simplify things where we're not doing paper documents for permits for the most part. Now everyone can do the online application with potentially Unibit, and then they input the files there, and it's not trying to chase a horse, try to get the application done. They're not going to be able to submit it, without doing the proper steps on an online application, stuff like that.
It'd be
that gives
like
us-
a huge help. Massive. Because permits, I'm not a plan reviewer, but when I get all those permits in, I have to make sure this is in there, solar, new build, accessory building, storm shelters, fences, I have to make sure every single bit that our code requires is in that package. And if they turn everything in and pay for it, and then I miss something, send it to plan review, then it's got to come back to me, and I got to go back to the person who turned in the permit and get this, But with a website like this, you cannot go forward unless every single piece of that permit is included.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's very awesome. And then
Yeah.
that takes a lot off of us.
Especially in the
Yeah.
future, because we might not get new development like housing, but people are going to want to remodel, addition, do a pool and stuff like that. So that's a lot of tedious, smaller ones, trying to trace down. And what I met with the president or the owner of the company, it's a local family business for the most part. They're based out of St. Louis, Missouri area. They said anything we don't have, they think would be useful, let us know. If you decide to go with us, let us know, because more than likely you're not the only one asking for it. Because more than likely other communities will be like, oh, that's a great idea. We would love to have that kind of thing.
So what is it? So they would submit their stuff through the website,
Mhm.
and then the website would automatically process everything?
So
Or what
we
is-
would tell them, like, for instance, on if you want to put a new fence in, right? And then they say, this is our parcel and it's a corner lot. And then they say they want to put a 6-foot fence, and it would kick it back saying, can't do that because you're on a corner lot. This portion has to be 4 feet.
Okay.
So we have to put that stuff in,
And
With
then
our
it would work
ordinances.
off of that.
and then it works off of that.
Yeah.
And then if you don't check a box that you have to check, nobody remembers to put the project valuation on those permits. I've got it
Yeah.
highlighted. I've got it in bright red. I'm like, hey, don't forget this one up here at the very tippy top. Nobody puts it in there. I always have to be like, I need your product, your project valuation. It's not based on valuation. I don't know why Bureau Veritas needs it, but they always ask for it.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that particular box filled in, it won't let you go forward.
Yeah, and in theory, they could also do payment, but how our fee schedule is when it comes to all that, it'll be easier just to submit the application. Then we call them saying, hey, it's been approved. We looked over it. Looks good. Please submit payment. It'll be easier that way because it's based on square footage, and then trying to calculate that with just through our online system.
Well, I mean,
Feasible, but it's
yeah.
just more complicated.
Some things are based on square footage, like new homes are based on square footage, fences, accessory buildings, that stuff is based on one rate, mechanical is another rate, solar is another rate.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's a lot.
And it's easier that we can review the application first before they pay. And then we kick it back in worst case scenario. Hey, you submitted a floor plan, but it's not what we need. Please email us a new floor plan. And then once we get that, here's how much it's going to cost, whatever. So it gives us a little bit more options and flexibility, especially as we grow. And it's still cheap. I mean, like I said, like Civic Plus, when I did it with Ranger, it was like 20,000 to start off, and then still like 5,000-10,000 every year. This one, I mean, we're playing close to 800 right now. It'll be basically 1,700, so 1,000 more, give or take.
And it works better, what Vance said, it works better with our E-code. So all of our ordinances that are online, it'll be easier to navigate.
Yeah, it'll be able to be embedded in
Yeah.
to the website instead of having to click in, then you go to a different site, stuff like that. So stuff like that, something that you don't really think about, that makes it flow much easier. And then embedding YouTube or something like that, so people don't have to go to YouTube to watch a city council meeting. We can just embed it into the website itself, which I don't think we really have that capability right now.
We do not.
Yeah,
I can put a link on there,
Right.
but I
Yep.
cannot embed
you
it.
can't embed it, so we're gonna look at it on Thursday. If that's something that you want us to bring back to council, if we like it, we can put on December. If that's something, because of the low cost amount, let that be staff level. I think that is, no matter what, something I'll bring up in December, purchasing policy, what that's gonna look like for the future, because we really don't have one right now.
Are we under contract with anyone right now, or is it just month to month?
It's
You pay a yearly
yeah, I
fee.
pay a yearly fee, and they don't really do much.
When do we
it's-
pay that fee? Is it like the first of the year, or?
No, it's end of the. No, I paid it in August.
Okay.
Yeah, so towards the end of the fiscal year. So yeah, I paid it in
Yeah.
August.
For the next term, I mean, do we pay in advance?
We do. We pay.
Okay,
Because,
so,
this site does it too. If you just pay the annual amount, you get a little bit discount.
would we get a refund back if we
I don't
canceled it?
know.
That is a good question.
out, maybe, I'm not sure if they would do that or not. You know how those companies are.
Yes.
So,
I will check.
yeah, just let me know if you want me
Okay.
to bring forth that in December.
Could you bring that in the workshop maybe?
In December,
Yeah,
we can.
a presentation or something that we can, yeah. Because I'd like to see something new, updated.
Yeah. When we meet with them Thursday, I'll ask them, is there some sort of PowerPoint or whatnot that I can present to council, or worst
Or
case
another
scenario,
city that uses it, maybe.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
city,
Yeah.
yeah, which I can find out on their website, so I can email that you tomorrow. Like, there's some cities that use them. The worst case scenario, they can't create me a PowerPoint. I can record Thursday's meeting and then send you a link so you can listen to it. Worst case scenario, then we can discuss about it in December. Okay. But basically, that's my report. We've been working hard and stuff like that. Getting the audit done. Hopefully, we'll have it done. Well, maybe the goal is hopefully December, but we might more likely will be January. Hopefully, we'll have an audit complete and present it to council by January. Any other questions in regards to that? Okay. The replat of Snow Hill Acres. Is there any questions in regards to that replat?
Other party's gonna be here? Okay.
No, not this.
Other than that? No? Okay. The tap fee rates and potential increases. That's in your packet. Yeah, we presented to you our fee schedule and then White Rights and Celeste and Greenville's to see and trends to kind of see what they are charging for taps. And then APSCO Supply, how much this all it kind of costs for us.
And that's on our smallest tap. So that is the least amount of money for an entire tap setup that is for parts, not including labor. So we are vastly undercharging on tap fees.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a idea of what you are thinking about?
I mean, I don't want to go whole hog as much as Trenton is. I mean, I think it's either Trenton or White Right. Maybe it's White
It's White Right.
Yeah, they're charging
White
like
Right is
$6,500.
yeah.
That's a little outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way. But right now, our water tap and our sewer tap are each $1,550. And if it goes below, or if the sewer line is below 7 feet, we have to contract that out. So we double that $1,550. I think what the consensus of our public works department was is to go up to either $2,000 for water and or sewer tap, and double that if it goes below 7 feet for the sewer.
Yeah, that seems to be about
The average.
an average, yeah.
Yeah. So it was
With the
either
exclusion of
2,000
White Right.
or or 2,500. I'll have to.
Yeah. Well, we would calculate better.
Yeah.
But that, yeah. but
I mean, because
that's the
honestly,
smallest.
2,000 is just a $50 increase.
I'm sorry.
$2,000 is just a $50 increase.
$50.
No,
No, we charge.
at 500.
Yeah,
I'm
500.
Yeah.
I'm not mapping tonight.
450.
My bad,
That's okay.
450. Yeah, $450
We know.
increase.
Yeah,
But yeah,
$150
it's-
increase.
We are substantially lower, and we are spending almost $1,000 just on parts on our smallest.
Yeah, you should at least double.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, the master fee schedule was going to be on the December agenda anyways.
Okay.
So that works out, in regards to that. Any other questions in regards to tap fees? The number 5, water and wastewater rates and potential increases. What I did is I went based off the study that was provided to us about a couple years ago or so, when it was presented, or it was done a couple years ago and presented, I think, last year, but nothing was done with it. And I went to what they recommended, and I just divided it by 3 to do a 3-year plan of increase based on what they said we should be charging. So that year 3 is what they said we should be charging now. Obviously, we didn't want to do that steep jump immediately. I think doing at least 3-year period to go back up to it is easier, but we're not taking too far long to get up to it, because even probably in 3 years, it's going to change, especially after we do our comprehensive plan and get that finished. That might figure out and calculate what we,
So does this 3-year plan get us to where they are now?
what they, based on the study, what should
Right.
be. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so year 28 is what it should be today, based on this study.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. We're stepping it up a little bit, but like I mentioned, I think last month, I mentioned again, more likely in year 3 or even year 2, in theory, we probably should have been jumping again, some sort. But especially, like I said, once we get our comprehensive plan done and, figure out what potential future growth is, what does that mean for our wastewater treatment plant? In theory, we should be playing our rates based off of that too, as well as current costs of salaries and replacements and stuff like that. So that's something that we'll have to, when that time comes, discuss that, what that's going to look like from here on out.
So based on this, we're still going to be 3 years behind.
Well, technically, almost 4 years
4
behind,
years
because it
behind.
was presented last year. Nothing was acted upon that I can see, and obviously it was never put into play. So we technically would be 4 years behind, but, we seen what that happened when Trent did that, immediate jump.
Now, I'm not thinking immediate jump, but I'm not sure that it should be the same jump every year.
Like I said, I just divided it up to 3. So if you decide we want to do 50% first year and then 25 or whatever, just
Or we could just do the 30% this year and then revisit this again next year to see how our rates are and
Mhm.
how our impact fees are helping with our water and wastewater improvements
Yeah.
and tap fees, things like that.
yeah. So I
And
mean,
just revisit it and recalculate.
Okay.
And that the TRWA, Texas Rural Water Association, they do this for free.
Mhm.
They do this rate study free of charge. So if we want them to come back out and do another rate study next year, they will jump on it. They love
Yeah.
doing that.
I would just hate to lock us into 3 years.
well, I'm not saying lock us here. I'm just giving you like what this would look like. To
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can do like the year 1 jump increase, and then year 2, if you're like, hey, let's just do the full thing. We can do the full thing. We just update the
Or
master
like you
fee.
said, if it offsets it, then we can
Yeah,
continue.
exactly.
Just
So-
see how our books are looking next year, revisit it, maybe
Mhm.
have another study done just to see where we need to be and where we're at. I think honestly, since it's a free service, I think that would be my
Yeah.
suggestion,
I agree.
just to see. So we're not just hiking up.
Yeah, and
Right,
especially
right,
since our comprehensive plan should be completed in the next year or so. And then we can get that water and wastewater study done with our comprehensive plan. I think this is what we project our future growth to be. This is what engineers are saying, how much it's going to cost potentially to upgrade to this future growth. What should our rates be, kind of thing.
I mean, because like the rate increases, they also are thinking, oh, well, you're going to need more above ground storage, stuff like that. Well, that's where our negotiation skills with developers come in, because we might not have to pay for that.
Right.
We might have a developer pay for a new above ground storage tank, or a developer help pay for improvements to our wastewater plant. So we might not need to raise it so significantly all at once.
And Chief Johnny provided the TML water and wastewater survey from 2025. Even now, with the increased rate, we're still below the average for 2,000 or less. And so it's not like we're going outrageous, than other communities. We're actually still going less for now.
Right.
Until we figure out a comprehensive plan and then what future growth might look like.
So,
Any other questions in regards to that? Nope. Okay. The solid refuse collection disposal rates and potential increases for sanitation solutions. They have sent over October, the cost calculation of what their increased rate will be.
And this isn't really negotiable because we're in contract with them and they increase every year.
So that'll be on next month's bill, or
It goes in on the
is that an
December
arrears or-
billing, which is due January 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions in regards to that one? Okay. So the holiday schedule for City Hall. Most, if not all, communities do this yearly. And I think we should do it as well, but also our holiday schedule has not been updated in a very long time. 2014 was the last time in the personnel policy it was updated. In the past, let's say couple years or so, there hasn't been, it's all been verbal on what holidays has been added and not added. We added Juneteenth, but allegedly we was, supposed to not have off Columbus Day or whatever. We switched that off, but it was never pen to paper. But our personnel policies said we were supposed to take off for Columbus Day. But verbally, apparently Edie said instead of Columbus Day, we're doing Juneteenth. But it was never pen to paper, never approved by council or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I messaged the mayor at the time. I said, so here's my dilemma. Verbally, I've been told Edie said this, potentially with your approval. Obviously, verbal, you never know what the actual truth is. But pen to paper, our personnel policy says we're supposed to have this day off. And so that's why we took Columbus Day off. So I have presented to you the holiday schedule, what Blue Ridge does, what Princeton does, Farmersville, Levon, basically in our area, what we do, what they don't do, and then a recommended.
and
What?
this is based off 2014.
Yes, 2014, our last updated personnel policy, which, like I mentioned, I'm working on it, and that would be presented in December. So this will be updated, in the personnel policy. Whatever you choose, I'll update in the personnel policy as well.
And we did take Juneteenth
Yeah,
and Good Friday and the day after Thanksgiving. Because Juneteenth was just recognized as a federal holiday,
longer than that.
2 or 3 years ago?
No, it's been longer than that.
Are you sure? 'Cause
Yeah.
we were in this building.
No, it's been longer than that,
When it was
because when I was in Lake City, it was at least a whole year before that. So it's at least been 3 to 4, if not 5.
Okay, well, so obviously since this is from 2014, those weren't updated
Yeah.
on here, but we did for the past, since 2019 anyways, we've done day after Thanksgiving and Good Friday but Juneteenth is the newer one that we've been,
It was 2021.
2021.
2021?
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, 4 years. Yeah. So, like I said, since then, or if not other things, a lot of things have been verbal. And now I think it's more fair to staff to plan for holidays, when they're going to be off and when they're not going to be off. When it comes to family planning trips for Christmas or Thanksgiving, or, even vacations itself. Like for example, for me, I always plan to take my vacations around a holiday. So I'd be the least amount out of the office. That's always what I've done. And so it's good just so they know, hey, a week in advance, by the way, we're going to be off on Columbus Day. Well, they could have just known, oh, I could have planned a hunting trip that weekend or 3-day camping trip or whatever, more appropriately. So I gave a recommended in the very back, and this is pretty standard what I put at the bottom. If a holiday falls on a Saturday, then it'll be observed on a Friday. If it falls on a Sunday, it will be observed on a Monday. That's fairly common practice nowadays.
That's the general thing that we followed anyways.
Yeah, but now it's, again, pen to paper.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If new council comes, new staff comes, or whatever, it's written. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
It's official.
Yes. So the holiday schedule for 2026, I added the dates. The only date that falls on a weekend is July 4th, so I put to be observed July 3rd. Any questions on that? Okay. Like I said, I put in the personnel policy. This also doesn't include obviously PTO and stuff like that, or personal days. That's in our current personnel policy. It's just for holidays only. Okay, on to the next thing is the amendment to ordinance 2025-1007-001.
This was actually, I put it on here because me and Allison were kind of back and forth because I did hear Mr. Gamble's concern about the event. So I was like, we need to add that special event disclaimer to it. So we weren't sure if we needed to amend the ordinance that was just passed, or if we're just going to rewrite the whole thing to include special events, holidays, things like that, because it is going to be presented with a special event where the no parking is not going to be enforced. So Allison said we'll just remove it from tonight's meeting until we can get that completely buttoned up, whether we're going to amend or just completely rewrite it.
So item 11, we just won't
Yeah,
act on.
we're just going to
No action or table to next meeting, whatever. Okay. On to the next thing. It was mentioned, I got a phone call asking if the city wants to sell bricks. I said, that's not my decision. I'm going to talk to city council about that. Because I had no knowledge of what that meant or what that was going to be. So I decided to, let council discuss this. If we want to sell bricks downtown at cost, so basically whatever it costs to do it and stuff like that, that's what they pay. We're not trying to make money off of it because our downtown bricks right here has some names. It's basically redoing that. Same bricks that have names will be there, just adding more to it.
Because there's blank bricks all up and down the walk.
Yeah.
And I did get in touch with the people who did the engraving of the bricks for us initially, Graphic Rocks. And she did inform me that the bricks have gone up in price quite significantly. So we were charging $15 per brick on the first campaign. They have gone up to $30 a brick for the engraving, the brick, everything except installation. So we would have to take into account cost of the brick and installation if we were going to run another campaign for selling them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that number would be. I don't think my guys know how to remove and lay bricks. I sure can ask.
Wait, so why are we removing them?
Just the blank ones. So
get
we
the
would remove the
bricks.
blank ones,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they'll be engravable. So I don't know if we could just remove the blank bricks and send those out to get engraved, or if that's going to cause a safety issue because there's going to be holes.
We just
Yeah,
had holes in
there's going to be
there.
holes all over the
Yeah.
place. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have to purchase new bricks to be engraved and replace because they don't do it on site, you know. But
And is this just a community thing? I mean, are we making money of this, or what is the,
we
I guess,
didn't make
purpose of this?
money last time. It's just like a commemorative walkway. Like
Okay.
I have one for my dad
Okay,
in there.
so it's just a community
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a memorial walk.
program. Okay,
And like I said, at cost, so we're not making money, we're not losing money.
So
If they
is
want to participate, they can do so. If they don't want to participate, it stays the same.
So it's just supposed to be a memorial walk?
No, because like I have
My
one for
name's
my
in there.
dad. I have my
Mine's
kids'
still here.
names are on it too. I've got
Okay.
the Lawrence
Yeah.
family on there, you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
just so you're kind of like, hey, this is
You're
my
part of
brick,
the
this is my
community.
spot.
And
I'm
you
part
have,
of
like,
Blue
when you
Ridge,
graduated,
you know.
you have your
Yeah.
kids' names on there when they graduate, and just, you know, just people
Mhm.
around in the town.
Yeah.
You know, people who live here have a different.
I don't have a brick, I want a brick.
I want a brick.
Yeah.
Another
I mean,
time.
when I went to high school, does it, you know, and they charge $250.
Ugh,
I
They're
think
making
actually
money.
it's more. I think
Yeah,
it's
they
like
are.
500.
that's excessive. I don't think we'll charge quite that much.
Yeah. But you know, it's very common practice to do something like that.
But we'll have to get down to see, you know, how much it's going to cost to remove the bricks
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
get them all put back in because
The
Yeah.
last time was kind of not very good when we had them out there the last time, and then when we redid it,
yeah,
then it kind of got all messed up.
Yeah.
Several bricks got torn up and stuff, and so it was very costly. So
Yeah.
we would definitely have to make sure there's an agreement signed that how it comes out, goes back in, and that's for sure.
Well, luckily, infra construction will not be doing this
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
So we'll get somebody else. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a nightmare.
That's it.
So, yeah, we can approve doing the brick campaign based on cost, or we can table until we get nitty gritty cost analysis again. Staff is thinking to cost, you know, nothing more, nothing less. You know, so if we want to do a brick campaign, we find out the cost, make a flyer. If you want to participate this, we're doing this for this year. You know, last time to buy your brick is in July or something like that. Here's the cost. If you want to do it, cool. If you don't, so be it.
Maybe if anyone knows any masons that want like a free brick or two, they'll do it for free. We'll see how that
When you
goes.
say masons, do you mean
Like
Masonry.
brick
Mason.
masons.
okay,
Mason.
not
Not like,
Freemasons?
not like
Yeah.
Freemasons, yeah.
Okay.
It's like bricklayers.
Because they
Bricklayers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they're called, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure, okay. I was
Yeah.
like,
But then there's also the Masons in the
Yeah,
lodge.
yeah.
who
You know,
do
you
kind of
got-
also
yeah.
do that stuff too.
Yeah.
So it gets complicated real quick.
It'd
I
be
know.
a twofer. You get like good stories and
Yeah.
someone laying bricks.
There you
You
go.
never know.
Okay,
Okay.
and next will be number 10. The 4A EDC purchasing real property located at 204 West FM 545 and 104 North Morrow. It's in your packet. So the EDC saw that Papelupe's was up for sale and thought that that might be a great place to do a incentive to get small businesses in here to kind of as a startup, or if there was a well-known location that wanted to create more business over here
To expand.
to expand and
expand our
has that
area.
following, we can use that as a incentive to get those people here, saying we have a spot available to do a food truck location with your following, bring in sales tax, bring in some jobs, or if that wasn't the case, then it would be a small business initiative to help create new businesses in town for people who might not have been able to afford it, because renting a food truck lot somewhere else would be $3,000, where it would just be at cost, because the EDC owns it, and then the land behind it will be used for that kind of, not a food truck, but a similar purpose of maybe for now it might be parking and stuff like that, but it will be then developed into small business, initiatives that, again, can afford those kind of places anywhere else because they cost quite a bit nowadays. And anyone who wants to start a business can't do a brick and mortar like that anymore. It's too costly. They already, statistically, they're going to shutter in 5 years anyways, doing the real stuff, so with the real square footage and all that nuisance there, where, this gives them an opportunity to try it out to the best of their ability and not have to worry too heavily. Still have to worry about it, but not too heavily when it comes to cost, and they can actually focus on improving and getting better as businesses instead of being penny pinching when they have to do like an actual brick and mortar from a private investor and stuff like that.
Yeah, because most restaurants don't make any money in the first year to year and a half.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great incentive.
And it's close enough right in there. It was nice because it's close enough to the area that as we expand on kind of out, it gives us those areas right there to bring in more business.
Because currently our downtown is, I wouldn't say at capacity because there's empty stores, but there's no expanding downtown in the current area. So that provides a potential to expand it that way for small businesses and food trucks and whatnot. Any questions on that?
I'm making a motion that we adjourn.
Let me make some motion in a second. Trent, all in favor? That's at 7:06.
One day I'll get us into 7. We're reading it, sir? There you go. Okay. Oh, gosh.
You got that?
Nope. And I mean, since it's past 7, you can start whenever everyone is ready.
All right, so here we will go. I've got 7:07. Y'all ready?
We need a break.
All right, the Blue Ridge City Council will meet in regular session at 7:07 p.m. on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, at the Blue Ridge Community Center located at 200 West Tilton, Blue Ridge, Texas, with the following items on the agenda for consideration and/or action. Item 1, call to order and roll call. Wendy Mattingly. Here. David Apple.
Here.
Trenton Sissom.
Here.
Linda Brawley.
Here.
And Rhonda Williams present. Item 2 is prayer and pledges of allegiance. Trenton, would you please?
Our Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather here tonight. Please guide our steps as a city and as city council come together to plan and take actions to better the city of Blue Ridge. Thank you for all that you do and allowing us just to be here more. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Public comment. We have 2 individuals here. This is the opportunity for the public to address the council on any matter included on the agenda except public hearings. Comments related to public hearings will be heard with the specific hearing begins. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker unless the speaker requires the assistance of a translator, in which case the speaker is limited to 6 minutes in accordance with the applicable law. To address the council, speakers must complete a speaker form and provide it to the city secretary prior to the start of the meeting. Each speaker shall approach the front of the council and state his or her name and street address before speaking. Speakers shall address the council with civility that is conducive to appropriate public discussion. The public cannot speak from the gallery, but only from the front of the council. Per the Texas Open Meetings Act, the council is not permitted to take action on or discuss any item not listed on the agenda. The council may make a statement of a fact regarding the item, make a recitation of exiting policy, and or propose the item be placed on a future agenda in accordance with council procedures. So we have Tommy Jackson. Oh, yes, sir. Okay.
I came to speak on behalf of these two gentlemen. They share a plot of land. This has to do with the replotting. And I just got a letter in the mail saying that this meeting was taking place. So I asked them, do I need to come back you up? And they said, well, I don't know. Just in case somebody's talking against it, we might get somebody to talk for it. So, I just came to vouch for them. I'm familiar with the property. This was a lot between their two homes, and the owner did not really take care of it. It was all grown up, and finally decided to sell it, and it looks like a whole new place now. So as far as the replotting, I know that I feel that their purpose is not to build or sell for other building. It's for their use. And that's really all I have to say.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We then have a John. Okay. Pronounce your last name for me, please.
Poro.
Okay.
John Poro, 6671 Deer Creek Lane. Thank you for taking up this agenda item tonight for us. Bottom line, there's a piece of property between us. It wasn't being well maintained. And we like to have as much of our property in our area stay rural. So me and my neighbor Carlos decided to buy the property. And now we're in the process of replatting it to divide it equally between the two of us. I'm not looking to make any improvements on the land. I'm putting a chicken coop on it, and then you might be putting a shop, and that's about the extent of what we're looking to do with it. So we just hope you act favorably on our request. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So I have no other. So I'll move on now to item number 4. Recognizing Aaron Schutz. Schutz, okay. Of Troop 310 for the construction of a flag retirement box as his Eagle Scout project, and declaring November 4, 2025 as Aaron Schutz Day. If you could come up here, Aaron. Yes.
Well, if you didn't hear, my name's Eric Schutz. I made the flag box with a lot of people. I couldn't have done it without my mom and dad and the nice people over there, Dennis and Ashley. And Miss April over there. Yeah, my troop is, we're in Farmersville, and I was just like, we need a flag box for Blue Ridge, because there's one in Farmersville, but we need to have our own. And I was with Jason Brazel, we got that all set up, and Firehouse approved it, and yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, if you could could you come around the front here for us? Yeah, just come through the middle thing here.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Perfect. Do we all want to get up and come see him?
Yeah,
Side
we'll
here so we can take a picture. Photo, let's do it here.
Flag, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to take it in front of that.
We'll do it this way so the flag is behind us.
You kick it.
We're gonna use this as the background.
Got it.
Yeah, you're good, you're good.
Mayor,
I get your picture.
okay, so that one is the one you're gonna The pretty ones?
How do you want,
Yeah, he can be in the
in the
middle,
middle, there you go.
and then we'll
That's
go
what
around
you're
you.
gonna present.
Okay.
But that's what okay.
We'll do first, too.
Tonight, we have the pleasure of recognizing outstanding. Tonight, we have the pleasure of recognizing.
It's on. Can you turn up Rhonda's mic, please, gentlemen?
Okay, here we go. Third time. Tonight, we have the pleasure of recognizing an outstanding young man in our community, Aaron Schutz from Troop 310. Aaron recently completed his Eagle Scout project, designing and building a beautiful flag retirement box for the Blue Ridge Volunteer Fire Department. This project gives our community a respectful and lasting way to retire worn or damaged American flags, and it's a wonderful example of leadership, pride, and community spirit. Aaron, your hard work and dedication truly reflects the values we hold dear here in Blue Ridge. On behalf of the city, it is my honor to proclaim November 4th, 2025 as Aaron Schutz Day in Blue Ridge, Texas. Congratulations and thank you for making a difference. Here you go, sir. Thank you.
I think I'm not zoomed in.
This one's better. Okay, and all the council comes over here. You need to be on all of it, so here, you scoot this way, and I'll get on this side, and then get over here too, and then we can slide in here all together. There you go.
We don't take many pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take our photo ops when we can, so.
All right, folks. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Did you want to get a better picture? Hang on, hang on.
Oh,
Come on. Okay. Come on, you're good.
And again, the box is over here, right over by the, what used to be the old post office, but now it's right in front of the fire department. There's the boxes sitting right there.
yes, where the
So,
food thing.
yeah, where the food, okay. Look at it, Mama.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank
so
you.
much.
Congratulations.
Yes, we can.
Well, let's wait till Jimmy gets back, maybe explain something to him real quick.
Jenna's going to talk about the PNC.
He's here just in case. He was here mostly for him.
I know, but if he wants to talk, maybe we move it up
We
so
can-
that.
Dennis, do you want to talk about the ADC property or if they have any questions?
Yeah, if there's any questions.
Yes, we can move you up from item 13.
Yeah, we'll move you up from item 13 so that you're not having to wait the entire time. If anybody has questions for you.
Yeah, so we can finish the public,
Yeah.
that, and then
Okay.
I'll mention the town hall too.
Somebody is.
Huh?
Is it this new?
So you've got one more under the, yeah.
Yeah, that, and then I'll mention the town hall.
Hang on.
Okay. So the other item that we have on here is Let's Feast event being held at the community center on November 10th at 11:30 a.m. This is a free lunch for anyone in the area that may need it or just wants to come have fellowship with other people. But this is the brochure that you'll see around town. But again, it's free for anybody that you know, family members, peoples that are just in the area that you think they might want to come fellowship, please enter and let them know this. So,
Do they need to call Rhonda? Like You know,
they
like,
say there is a
It
phone number
says-
on.
Yeah,
I know, I saw a phone number.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Jane are the ones that are doing this, and they said if you could call just so they can make sure that there's plenty of food for everybody. They said they're gonna make a lot, but to have a
Mhm.
kind of a ballpark figure, they would love it if like a RSVP would be made.
So do we have these around town in different
They are
areas?
everywhere.
Okay,
It's on our
that's what I'm sure.
website, our socials.
There's
They
at
put
the
them all
post
around
office, at the
town.
grocery
Yeah.
store.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Were you gonna speak now? Or-
Yeah, so, I'm not sure if this is on.
It's on, red light's on.
Your lights on.
Okay, November 13th, we will be having a town hall in regards to a comprehensive plan. It'll be starting at 6:30 here at Community Center. And come ask any questions, concerns about the city and the future. Any ideas, not a bad idea, here in Community Center, yes. Just come in, bring thoughts, opinions, that's what it's meant for, is that town hall, explaining the comprehensive plan, and also listening to you all, the citizens or any community members of what you want the future of Blue Ridge to look like and what problems currently face Blue Ridge and what the positives as well. So when we are doing the comprehensive plan, we know what to look for and how to better develop it. So this is the first of few town halls. Next one will be sometime in the late winter, early spring. But this is going to be the first one and the initial one, and then we will continue to have more throughout the year.
Will that company be here?
Yes, they'll be here. They're the ones running it, so to speak.
Okay.
They'll have a little board that people can do green dot, yellow dot, red dot for XYZ, like do you like this, do you like that kind of stuff, Legos and stuff like that. So it's community planning, all of us together to, so they can see the ideas of everybody.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go on to number 5, the consent agenda.
Okay.
And then Number 5, consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda for discussion and possible actions are considered to be routine by the city council and require little or no deliberation. There will not be a separate discussion of these items, and the consent agenda items will be enacted by one vote. If a council member expresses a desire to discuss a matter listed on the consent agenda, the item will be considered separately. A, minutes from workshop, special session, and regular session held October 7, 2025. B, public works update. C, city financial report. F, D, fire department report. E, animal control report. F, new permit report. G, write-offs for utility billing. And H, city administrator report. We don't have the administrator report, correct?
In the
Yeah,
packet.
in the packet, sorry.
Okay.
I'd like to make a comment on the, I got a couple questions on the financials.
I know what it's gonna be.
What?
The budget wasn't put into QuickBooks. That's why there's lots of zeros. Because that's what I saw. I was like, oh, we didn't put the budget in QuickBooks, so there's many, many zeros. So yeah, that's one of them.
Is that the new?
Yeah, because we're
Yeah,
the new
no,
fiscal.
I don't know, no.
All right.
I just had a couple questions on page 1, where it says franchise tax income.
Mhm.
I thought we had some franchise.
We do. They usually come at the end of the month.
Okay.
So if they come, they usually come by check, and we don't have a bank close, so we have to, we don't go every single day. So we do have franchise. We have like, I know one that's gonna go in this week is Texas, New Mexico, because that's a direct deposit, and I just haven't put it in yet. But we do have some, they just haven't been put in.
Okay, I mean, because I was like, we have none. I thought.
Oh,
we
no,
had-
no, no, we do. So we'll have Texas Data and VoIP, we'll have Spectrum, we'll have 90 or 360 broadband, Texas, New Mexico Power. So there's a few, they just haven't been in.
Okay, I was very surprised at that.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. No, there's gonna be.
Okay, and
Not
then
quite yet.
on page. That's not right. Oh, page 2, under item 5300, legal and professional fees, 45,489. Is that for 1 month?
No, that is for many, many months. And also we pay, Blue Ridge Crossing out of that, even though they deposit checks. So we pay it out of general. So they deposit it, we put it in general. So that's Blue Ridge Crossing, general legal matters, anything to do with Korea or Beladia, because that check was deposited in our general account as well. Blue Meadow Mud, which was a lot of that, that their retainer check was deposited in general. So that's why in general, it's so massive, but it's not all general tax funds. The majority of it is Blue Ridge Crossing funds, Blue Meadow Mud funds, Bria and Bellagio funds.
Okay, so this is income? I thought this was
No,
an
that's
expense.
fees, that's expenses.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, but those checks, they deposit those months and months ago. So that income is still in last fiscal year,
Okay,
but we're paying it now because that's when I got the bills. But I mean, that money doesn't go anywhere because we utilize that until it's gone.
okay.
And then when it's gone, we ask them for another check.
Because I just about killed over when I saw that
Me too.
amount. And I thought, is this for a month? Because I want to know what these people are billing.
Oh no, it's for multiple months and multiple projects.
All right, and then on page 3, there were 2 entries for payroll other. One under 5393 and one under 5370. Does that mean something different? And maybe could we clarify?
660, would that not be the, whenever we do the, setup here?
No, because that goes under contract layer.
Would it be our police officer? I'm just guessing the different people that we
Mm-mm.
okay.
So payroll expenses are generally like TMRS and TML. Oh, our phone,
The cell phone, the
Yeah.
stipend.
the stipend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what some of that is. So each employee gets a $60 cell phone stipend instead of us having individual cell phones for work, because honestly, we mainly use our cell phones. Like Crystal and the guys definitely use cell phones all day.
So is that the 5393?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry, it took me a minute.
okay. And then what's the other one?
I'll have to look into that because I don't have that off the top of my head, but I will see what that is.
I mean, is there any way we can, make a note in,
I won't be able to make a note on here. I can print out a chart of accounts. I mean, that's the only, but I mean,
well,
if you
chart of
just-
accounts wouldn't be bad for each one of us to just have as
Right, so you can-
something to refer back. We can put it in our little manual.
Okay. Let me write those 2 codes down. All right, and chart of accounts. Okay, got it.
That's it.
So nothing else on that, so. Item number 5, so entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve number 5.
The second. Brent? All in favor? Thank you.
That's, yeah.
Okay,
Dennis, we're moving
Okay.
on. Yeah,
okay, go ahead, Dennis. So we're moving Dennis up to number 13 up.
yeah, we'll be touching on this.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Dennis, you're up.
All right. So I don't know if anybody has any initial questions about the 4A board looking at purchasing the properties.
He does.
Hey.
Do we have a purchase price?
Yes.
Okay, what's
Yes,
that?
so the purchase price is a total of $315,000 for both properties. And we will also be covering the cost of the insurance, which is roughly $2,400.
The insurance?
The title
The closing
sorry.
insurance.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And so is any of this gonna be financed or is it,
Yes, so we're
Okay.
looking at doing 20% down and financing the rest of it.
And then in return, that whatever that amount is will basically be the rent for somebody.
okay, I thought the Morrow property was residential.
It is.
It is
Okay.
currently residential, we'll be looking.
Are you
to-
gonna change it to,
Yeah, the plan would be to change it to multi-purpose or commercial.
okay. So your plan is to rent it?
The plan would be to lease.
Okay. Okay, have you had any interest or do you know of anybody that, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is we've got that retail coach thing that, I don't know what's going on there, supposed to bring in business. We've got the comprehensive plan scheduled that's going on. Are you working with any of these entities? Do you,
But those, no. So the thing with it is the property is prime. It's a prime location for retail in Blue Ridge. Current downtown, we have no actual retail stores. There's buildings that have no tenants, nothing coming in. Nobody wants to sell, nobody wants to rent. So we need to expand downtown and be able to bring in more business, more revenue for the city, and give people a reason to come to Blue Ridge and shop in Blue Ridge. Right now, everybody goes to Melissa, Princeton, Anna, Farmersville. Why can't we start bringing in and creating revenue of our own? That's the whole purpose behind it. The fact that it is right across from downtown gives us the perfect ability to start expanding downtown. Because if people aren't selling in downtown, we need to create a downtown.
so are they leaving all of the,
Yes.
so it's basically being
It's a turnkey.
marketed
business.
as another restaurant?
Yes, and so I've already been in talks with Spurlocks. They actually had their last day November 1st.
They're the ones in Anna, right?
Correct, yes, so they already have a huge following. So I've been in talks with them. They have some concerns with just the size, so we have stuff to work out.
Okay.
I actually have thought of some other ideas, which I brought up to a couple people, and I guess I can bring up here. One of my thoughts I had was, when I went to high school, my high school had a restaurant on campus that was ran by high school students. The student council ran it, and home ec and all them, they ran it for the teachers. So my thought is, we have nothing here for students. We have nothing here for them to really get jobs. So perhaps talk with and pitch it to the ISD that maybe they end up leasing it create jobs for students, teach them life skills of management, leadership, finance, accounting, things that we currently are lacking with that. So that's an idea I've actually pitched to the president of the school board, and he's going to bring it to the rest of the board members and see if that sticks. But the big thing is trying to get business there that's going to actually bring tax revenue. We don't need another business that purchases it that we don't gain the revenue from, such as, I say them, but Crows, love that they're there, but they're not bringing us tax revenue. We need tax revenue. So bringing in another business that's going to do that is going to be beneficial. If it sells and another house goes there, we have no tax revenue. So it's a way to create what we are lacking and get on top of it before it's just impossible to do that.
Do you know if you're gonna have any problems changing the zoning with the existing owners around there that are residential, or no, you haven't gotten that
I
far?
haven't gotten that far yet. We'll see how that goes, but the big thing with it is getting that property as we can, as it's available, to be able to start the expansion.
Have you thought about what your monthly rental requirements would be, or?
So I know we did the numbers, and with 20% down at 5.5% is what we were quoted. It
Yeah.
was like $1,300 something.
$1,330 and that's just the loan, obviously itself. You know, when it comes to insurance for the property itself, we don't know that until we own the property, what TMO or it has to be another entity tells us that. Then we'll tack that on to the rent. So you're looking, you know, roughly about, you know, $1,500-1,600 a month on rent, and then they would pay all utilities.
Which is half of what most
Yeah.
food
And-
truck lots.
And if the EDC decided that they need to get a bigger food truck, that would be tacked onto the rent as well. If there need to be a purchase of a bigger food truck and sell the other one, that would also be tacked on. So like I said, it's at cost, you know, to bring small businesses an opportunity to start up with the Spurlocks to kind of get roots growing here and hopefully maybe expand to another location once they get their feet settled here. Or if it's, you know, teaching life skills to the ISD and creating jobs that way for students that can't get jobs anywhere else here. And again, just that cost, that, you know, talking to legal, you know, we can't do it to make money. You know, that's not the EDC's goal. The EDC's goal is to bring in revenue through taxes, to create jobs, and to create tourism, so to speak. And so that's their goals when it comes to purchasing the property or getting renters of it to come in. You know, that's something they have to go through that process. It can't just be everybody that goes in. It has to be research. They have to, you know, meet one of those criteria.
So when is Papa Lupe's closing? Do we know?
So I actually spoke to her earlier, and she has some issues. She might actually be closing this week or next.
Has she indicated why she's having so much trouble in that location?
From my understanding, it's health issues. It's health issues with her husband, and she's starting to have some more health issues. So she needs to sell so she can take care of him, get everything figured out. And her goal is to eventually end up bringing another food truck into Blue Ridge once everything
Settles down.
I was looking at the CAD on the Morrow Street, and there was this weird thing about circuit breaker. Do you know anything about that?
No.
It's on the valuation. Has anybody ever seen anything like that?
I wonder, is it maybe because it has electric? And so they
See, I'm wondering, is there some kind of issues? And, you know, I don't want us to overpay.
Definitely, it's definitely not overpaid. It's been ran through, the board where we have a commercial real estate agent as well as a residential real estate agent, and they've both gone through and have agreed that our price we're getting is actually very good.
And in fact, she did have an offer for much more, but she wanted it to go to a good use. So in fact, we're actually getting less than probably market value what you could get.
How long, say that no one rents it for 6 months, a year, what is your finances to be able to cover that for any extended time?
Absolutely. So if we are paying just under $1,400 a month on it with nothing happening, we're on our bad month, we're bringing in over $7,000 in taxable revenue. So we have a surplus on what would go out on that.
And there's still quite a bit of money sitting in the bank account that's not even being used. So there's a lot of savings, and plus, like I said, we're spending 7,000.
So you're good for a year, minimal.
Yes.
Okay,
And I guess y'all could sell it if it,
exactly. And if you're buying it for under that, okay, so how does that work? If you're not able to make money on this, are you having to sell it for what you paid for it or what you put into it? How does that work?
Appraised value.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't sell it for,
More.
more.
Okay, so you have to
the
sell it for what
appraised
he's purchasing it for. Okay.
Well, not so much purchase, just if the appraisal goes up in between now and when they want to sell it, then that's what.
So say they sell it next year, it's at $450.
Yeah.
They couldn't sell it more than $450.
Yeah.
can I show him this?
What, are you looking at the circuit breaker you said on CAD? Where does it say that?
It's on the CAD. Okay, this is for. They've got it right. But look at this. Huh? Oh, no, they don't. Not my house, they don't. But look at this.
Hmm?
Circuit breaker. I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, well.
Have you ever seen this?
It's just tax code number for them, not, it's,
Security lock. Mhm.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Circuit breaker is just an exemption. Oh, so they just like an exemption.
It's an exemption?
Yeah,
what is like,
it's like a homestead only for.
Yeah.
well, it could be a cap, it could be just different things.
So this is an exemption.
It's just not blended into it. And now we're on. Huh? I said, so we're going to reveal nothing into it.
Okay.
We should have been on board.
The grades though, you can't just like,
So he said it's supposed to ask for action.
Yeah, so we just need a
Well,
motion.
I'll get that reading all the minutes.
I'll just kind of get started. If there's no other questions.
Is there any other discussion regarding this? No. Okay. So, with that being said, this is to consider, discuss, and take possible action for the City of Blue Ridge EDC Board to purchase real property located at 204 West Eklund 545 and 104 North Morrow.
I make a motion, we approve.
13, now 6.
Yes, number 6.
Linda makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second, all in favor? Okay. Thank you. Okay, now we'll go back to compare to the Snow Hill, sorry. Okay. Item number, I'm not, 7.
Well, you just still do it as number
Okay, we'll do
6.
6 and then. Okay, public hearing to receive comments and act upon a request for a preliminary plat known as Snow Hill Acres, lots 8, 9, and 10, block 1 of Snow Hill Acres, volume P, page 575, City of Blue Ridge, Texas, extraterritorial jurisdiction, Collin County, Texas, being part of the Joseph Matthews Survey, abstract number 556, being changed from 3 lots into 2 lots, lot 9R, block 1, measuring 2.319 acres, and lot 8R, block 1, measuring 2.084 acres, and also, which is located in the City of Blue Ridge's extraterritorial jurisdiction. So we've heard from 2 gentlemen here who have spoken as to what the use of this land is going to be for.
Open public comment.
The public hearing, yeah.
Okay, so we'll open up to public comments at 7:46. Public comments. Okay, so, do I have these 2 gentlemen still speak again?
No.
You don't have to. We've already, yeah.
Okay,
We can just move those comments down.
okay. So we'll move those comments down to it.
Am I allowed to make,
Sure.
ask questions?
Mhm.
Okay. Especially since they're all here. One thing I want to be sure of is that there are no restrictions about chopping up lots in that addition. Yeah, actually, in any of those additions that we're changing lot sizes on. I know a lot of times developers put that in the plats. And I don't know, are we looking at that when we do these?
So that is what the title companies do. They have to do a deed search in order, because I'm assuming y'all are taking a loan out for the purchase of this property. So in order to do that, they have to do a deed search through the title. And if anything comes up with that, then they wouldn't be allowed to do this.
So what we vote on
we
tonight
don't
would be
research.
negated.
I'm
Are there
sorry.
any restrictions on it?
Came up without restriction.
Okay.
Yeah, because we
who
don't do
owns
the
lot
research for
nine?
that.
I currently own it, I'm selling half to him as soon as the,
Once you replat it, you're gonna sell it off and,
So, yeah.
okay. Okay, that's all I had.
So do we have to act on this? It's just public hearing?
It's
We
just a
can't
public hearing.
Okay. Item number 7.
We need to close the.
That's all.
Okay, we'll close that at 7:48. So we just have one public hearing on this, we won't have to have a final one? That's what's got me confused
Due to changes, we can no longer have both
On the same
on
time?
the same day. So, my recommendation, so we don't have to push it out for an entire month,
Mm-hmm.
would be to call maybe a short special session, probably not even here, just at City Hall, to go over the final plat for Snow Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, or we can even make it like before the town hall.
Yeah, before the town hall, since if y'all are planning on being here for the town hall on the 13th. Or I just need 3 of you. If all of you aren't coming, I just need 3 of you.
Because it's special.
Oh, no, it would be all of you, just
Yeah.
kidding, it's special. So, yeah, but it would only take 5 minutes, if that. Yeah, because it's the same thing, but it's just due to changes that have been made. We can no longer have the preliminary and the final on the same day
Okay.
until the P and Z is up and going. And then that will eliminate that.
Okay, so if we did that on the 13th, as long as all of us are here, we could do that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I'll just have to put out an agenda for a special session for that one item.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah,
What time is the town hall thing again?
It starts at 6:30.
6:30.
So if we did this,
like
At 6
6:15.
or even
Mhm.
6 even.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that way we can get you all taken care of and y'all don't have to wait till the next month and stuff to
Yeah.
keep moving forward. Okay.
Is everyone available on the 13th?
Okay, so go right down.
Okay, I got you. So I will put that agenda out tomorrow
Okay.
Okay.
for the 13th for a final plat for Snow Hill.
And we'll just do that at City Hall.
And then
We
come
can do it
down.
at City Hall
Well,
or here because the town hall is going to be here.
Oh,
most
So
of it here,
yeah.
whichever.
Okay.
Yeah. And y'all, if you wanted to come to that, you could. I will have signatures that day so you can take that plat and get it filed. Okay?
We do it like at 6.
We're saying 6, yeah.
Okay,
So we can get that knocked out for you.
Yeah.
that'll work. Okay. All right, now we're going to number 7.
Yes.
Yes.
Consider, discuss, and act upon possible action regarding the City of Blue Ridge's current tap fees and potential increases due to material and supply cost increases.
So the suggestion from Public Works is to raise that from $1,550 to a minimum of $2,000 for water, $2,000 for sewer, unless that sewer line is below 7 feet, then that would double to $4,000 for a sewer tap.
And, yeah, then whatever is acted upon tonight, approval of that, then in December, we'll make sure it's in the master fee schedule as such when we approve the master fee schedule.
And that's just for new construction, right?
Yes, that's just, well, and that's if you don't have water and sewer tap already. So, yeah.
Okay, we're talking about the little area that you've got.
Yes.
Okay, so the inspection, would that stay the same?
Give me just a second.
$51. Is
No,
that right?
CSI inspection?
Oh, that comes with new home builds. That's a customer service inspection for new taps for new residential.
Okay,
So that's included in your full permit. So that is for a secondary one if you fail the first one. So that's gonna stay
okay.
unless Bureau Veritas
Okay, so the sewer tap, you want to move it to how much?
2,000 if it is 7 feet or above. So if they have to dig below 7 feet, they have to contract that out because we don't have the correct equipment. So we've always doubled that price to pay for contract labor.
Okay, so 2,000, and then it shows sewer tap deeper than 10, would we change that to 7?
Yes,
And that would be 4,000?
yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
And then when you get to the next one, water, tap water line, we're gonna change that?
Yeah, so to
2,000.
2,000.
And what about the rest of them?
So let's see. 250. So I would just add the 450 to that next one. So 1,850 plus 450 would be 2,300 for that water tap.
that water tap, that including the meter?
No, that's the tap.
Just the tap, okay.
Because the meter has to be bought by the resident. Because we have an ordinance for the Zinner meters. And we can't include that because, I mean, they just went up on those because of tariffs. So we go straight through wind supply for that.
Joni, wouldn't it, so 450 on 2,000, so wouldn't it be 2,450?
No, I was at the 1.5 to 2 inch.
Right, no, I'm saying, but
But then the
3/4
next
is
one.
2,000. So should we just do 450 to make it 2,450? See what I'm getting at? Because we're raising the water top line 3/4 to 2,000, which not, so actually it would be 2,350, excuse me. No, I just, right? Because there's a 300 difference, so 2,300, I guess.
Give me just a second.
That's the difference.
Okay, so $450 is the difference between our minimum. So we usually charge $1,550 for the 3/4 water tap.
Uh-huh.
So the difference between $1,550 and $2,000 is $450. So if we're adding 450 for that, I would just assume we would add 450 for each one following.
That's what I would think too.
Okay, because currently it's 300 difference from 1550 to 1850. And then,
Right, but that's only raising that to 2,000, but those parts are more expensive.
Yeah,
So
that-
I
that's
would
what I was
just,
asking.
yeah, I would just keep that
So-
450. So if
Across
we
the
did
board.
1850 plus 450, that's 2,300 for the 1.5 to 2 inch water line.
it'll be 2,500.
I'm sorry,
2,500.
1850 to,
What,
2,300.
Well, no, I'm saying 2050. If we're doing 450, are you doing 450 for that one too? So that would be
Yeah,
2,500.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I was still on the 1.5.
yeah,
to 2 inch
2,300,
water line.
2,500, and then the bulk water tank, 1,500.
Bulk water,
Stay the same.
that's just the bulk water
Yeah.
deposit.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, we wouldn't change that.
And then the same thing, we just leave the specialty meter.
Yes.
And it's $50 enough for labor.
Yeah, we might need to look at that.
On what?
So it says meter cost plus labor not to exceed $50 for labor. Is that enough when it comes to labor? So not to exceed.
Where are you at?
At the very bottom, especially
Okay, I'll
meter.
In the pink box.
Yeah.
I'm in the box. I'm
Yeah.
still looking
Yeah,
at
and in
tab.
the box.
it is in the box.
It is, it says specialty meter, and then right there it has all this little words written, meter cost plus labor not to exceed, it's the very last line.
Is that a little
in
bit
the
more?
pink box.
In the pink box. up here,
Meter
Johnny.
cost plus labor not to exceed $50 for
Yeah,
labor.
right up here.
Specialty water meter. Well, I don't think that falls under our water meter because ours is not a specialty water meter, but it is a designated meter that you're required to have in order for our sensors to read it. So I don't know what that specialty meter is on this. I can ask Crystal. That might be some sort of fail safe that was put in there. Because ours are not specialty meters. They're a specific brand of meter that we
So if
have
you
to
leave it
have.
$50 an hour would be okay?
Yeah,
There's no need to change it since it's not really our meter.
yeah.
Well, I'm assuming what it probably means by specialty meter. I don't know why it says meter twice, but probably a meter that's bigger than the normal size. So it would be a special meter, probably for like commercial or something like that. That maybe needs a 4-inch meter. That's whatever. That's maybe the only, that meter kind of costs more. So you just got to pay for that cost plus the $50 for labor.
I mean, honestly, I don't know why that. In the whole time I've worked here, I've never had to utilize that code.
Yeah. Well, we also haven't had the commercial
Yeah.
capacity for that need of a 4-inch.
Well, I mean,
meter
we
and stuff
did
like that.
we did with the school when they built the new school. They've
Right.
got,
And we charge them and stuff like that.
but we didn't use that.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying I don't know what that pertains to. It
That's the
might
only
just
thing I
be
can think of is bigger than the ones that we mentioned right there.
Yeah,
That's
So
why
we
it's a
probably need
special
to find
meter.
out what that,
yeah.
because
I mean,
$50 for labor, it's just, you're
Well,
right, I think that is
That's a
just,
little low. Yeah.
And so what we
Um,
can do, we're obviously going to approve the rest of the stuff we just mentioned. I am going to present the master fee schedule in December. So if, and I'll show the edits I've made. And so if we look at the specialty meter, what that means, and it's $50 too low, I'll just automatically put $250 and I would say, hey, I raise it up to $250 because labor costs for 4 guys, it's not $50,
Yeah.
something like that. That's what I'll do for that one. So we don't have to worry about that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, because that doesn't really make any sense. Because if you're on a dig and you have to have at least 3 people there,
Yeah,
and
that's what I was asking.
that,
about
yeah,
$50.
that I don't know what that is, so I don't know how to
Well,
answer that
I'm
question.
assuming it's a meter
Yeah.
that's bigger than the normal size, so
Yeah.
it makes it specialty. So you're paying for that meter cost plus $50 of labor, of our guys'
Yeah.
labor, which, again, I think we all can agree $50 is low. That's 2 guys for an hour, basically.
Yeah,
Max, and we're saying not to exceed. So I think we probably will look at, I don't even think we do not to exceed. I would say $150, $250 for labor,
plus labor.
plus labor.
Yeah, or just
yeah,
meter cost plus labor.
Yeah, we can even remove $50.
Yeah.
And then we just say this is how much it costs.
Because if we're doing something outside of the normal,
Yeah.
then they should be responsible for that cost. So
Right.
it'd be $50
Yeah,
meter cost plus
Something
labor.
simple as that. We just
Yeah.
remove the $50. And we just, or just remove that last part, not to exceed $50 for labor, just the immediate cost plus labor, and just leave it as such.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be the best.
So I'll cross that off.
So we're on to number 8 now.
Well, do we want to approve tap fees as amended?
I thought you were gonna bring that back. for the
Well, the master
next
fee
month.
schedule.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it in the master, so the master fee schedule will get approved, but we can say the tap fees can be approved. So-
I'll make a motion that we approve the tap and water fees as we've just gone over, and we'll wait for the specialty meter until we review it in December.
I'll second.
All in favor? Eight. Consider, discuss, and act, take possible action regarding the adjustments to the city's water and wastewater rates to ensure alignment with the Texas Rural Water Association's rate study.
Yeah, like I mentioned in the workshop, this is not set in stone for the, like Linda asked, it's not set in stone for the next 3 years. I'm just giving you a good example of if we divide it up into 3 years, what this looks like. Based on just whatever they said this is what we should be, I basically divided that cost into 3 and put it for 3 years if we want to do it that way. But like Linda mentioned, once our comprehensive plan's done, and maybe new development comes in that time frame, that changed the cost. So we're not locked into 3 years. We can just say the first year we're making it a residential minimum for a 33.36, and for 1,000 3.56 or whatever. You can even say, hey, we want to do the 27 or 28 rate instead. It's really up to you how you want it to go about this, because you can go the full amount. 27 is basically a little over half, way there, and then 26 is about 33.3333, so on and so forth, because it's 3 years. It's not an even number. That's basically about 33.33% increase, closer to what is recommended to us by the water study.
What is ours right now?
So ours, did I put that in here? It is, so our wastewater is 15.31 residential minimum. Actually, I think in that little happy thing, it showed it. Let me go back to there. I think it did. No, it did not. Okay. Yeah, it is a lot less, that's for sure. And then in the back, I explained how the percentages on per the fee schedule. I just calculated that out, and that's how I divvied it up. The extra, outside residential, outside commercials, all that. Calculated that today.
I'm looking at our master fee schedule, so I can
Yeah.
see if I can.
That's 1530 for residential, and then 3162 residential wastewater, and then 3162 for residential water minimum, which is up to $2,000.
2,000 gallons.
How many gallons? That's $1.
That's up to how many? 2,000?
2,000 gallons. That's our minimum.
2,000.
And then what I'm recommending, because our master fee schedule breaks it up into like 2,000 to 5,000 is this
Yeah.
amount. I'm just saying we charge out there that per 1,000. So you get $3. Every 8,000 used, it's 3.56. Or if you're commercial, 4.45. Outside residential, 5.03. So on and so forth. Because that that's what the rate study did, is per 1,000, and I think it's just easier that way for us and for our system. Once you hit above that threshold, where you're being charged that extra $3.56 or whatever you choose tonight.
Okay. You got thoughts, Linda?
Mhm.
I see your look.
No, thank you. I like the idea of the 1 year and revisit
Okay, yeah, I agree.
personally.
Well, and like I said, we're not locking it, that, I was never intending to lock in 3 years. I was going to be like, what this will look like by 3. So we can do the first year and revisit every single year, because we would have to update the fee schedule every single year anyways to do this. Or approve an increase of the water rate every single year. So we would, no matter what, we'd have to revisit it. So even if we said this is the proposed 3-year increase, we still have to revisit every year to approve the actual and then the master fee schedule, even if we said we like this for the next 3 years.
And that would go into effect January.
I would recommend putting it into effect in January, so we can give proper notice in the next water bill saying, starting I guess technically your February bill, the rate increase will be X, Y, Z. Per 1,000 will be this, city residential, commercial, so on and so forth. And we put that in the bills.
Motion. You're thinking what you're saying? Linda?
Yes, I would like to make a motion that we increase water and wastewater, the 3.56 that he is
So year 1 for about all.
for the.
Yeah, just year 1. Okay.
Yeah.
2026 recommended amount. Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Number 9, consider, discuss, and take possible action regarding the proposed rate increase for solid waste disposal services through Sanitation Solutions.
Like I said, we really don't have a choice. They're gonna bill us.
They're the
whether
only
we-
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just need a motion.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve the rate increase for solid waste.
And, second,
I'll second.
Trent had his hand up. Let him have it.
Put it to the draw.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. All right, item number 10, consider, discuss, and take possible action on implementing a permanent holiday schedule for City Hall staff.
And I forgot to mention this workshop, and I was trying to rush through within the hour. And I totally forgot to mention this, and that's on me. But you see in the holiday schedule what we don't have currently. For this, per the personnel policy, we have to date. So, and per, I would say, the book, I would have to technically follow what the personnel policy says. So right now, per our personnel policy, we do not have the day after Thanksgiving off for this year. Is that something, to tack on saying, we'll approve this 2026, but also give staff, the day after Thanksgiving off for this year, if that's something you want to do, or have day before Christmas Eve or so on and so forth, just let me know tonight so I can notify staff appropriately.
Okay, let me, I counted up the days for each city, and what's in the manual, I guess, is we have 11 days.
Right.
But it's been kind of
A flux, a verbal flux
yeah.
for the past probably few years.
So how many days have y'all been taking off?
Well, to my knowledge, right, I've only been here since July. It would depend on Edie, or if, the mayor, if we got that day off. So Edie, again, like I said, allegedly Columbus Day was taken off, but Juneteenth was put in, never put to pen to paper, right? So
Okay,
that's,
this year, how many of these days did y'all take off?
So and I had to ask Crystal because I'm like, my days run together and she's
Right.
got a steel trap of a memory. So she said that we always get the day after Thanksgiving off, which I remember that now. And then I think we did a half day, the day before Christmas Eve. Uh-huh.
Or just Christmas Eve?
No, the day before Christmas
day
Eve, like a
Like the
half day
23rd.
or, and I can't remember, maybe it was
Wow.
Christmas Eve. Like I said, I just go to work and I'm there. So I'm like,
Okay.
if they tell me not to
Sometimes
show up
half
to
days-
work, I just don't show up.
Exactly.
I feel like the half days, they should just be up to y'all. If you have work you need to do, come work. I mean, I don't think, I feel like we're getting real tedious if we're putting half days on the
Well,
schedule.
I don't, did I
Yeah,
put
I
half
agree.
days?
I say
Yeah.
No,
you
you-
need to get a
Well,
full day or.
some of these say half.
Well,
day.
yeah, that's
Well,
other
yeah.
communities, that's
Yeah.
not us.
Right, and I
Yeah.
just, you had brought up, saying, hey, this is a possibility. I think if you
Right.
don't take a half day for day before Christmas Eve, there's no work, nothing's happening, then do it.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
think we necessarily need to implement it into a true holiday schedule.
Schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I like I
So
said,
you're saying the
Crystal,
office stays open?
however they want to handle it, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, we gotta put it in,
Because you have to have the right people in
You
there
have-
working for you. You can't
right.
just have-
And so we can notify citizens appropriate too, to
Yeah.
have a flyer, hey, we'll be half day or full day closed whenever, so and so and so forth. And again, like I said, it is more beneficial for staff to know. Joni and I are planners, so we're good examples. We like to plan our vacations or what we're gonna do for a 3-day weekend.
yeah.
Where if it's last minute, because I have to call the mayor, then, we're, good example is the weekend before Columbus Day, Joni and her husband went hunting, and she had to take that Friday off, but if she knew that we were going to get Columbus Day off, she would have just done the
Yeah, I
following
would have just
weekend.
taken that.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't have to use a vacation day, but
I'm good with the recommended holiday schedule for 2026.
yeah,
And do you want to,
It's kind, if you look at it, it's kind of like whatever, I mean, I'm not sitting here looking at each town, but I mean, in society today, this is kind of how it all works
Right.
out for all businesses, not
and would
just-
you want to implement the remaining holidays that's not on our personnel policy for the remainder of 2025 as well? So I'm saying like the day after Thanksgiving.
sure, I would.
Basically.
I would think so.
I
Okay.
got a couple of comments.
Okay.
Like I said, I counted all the days up that every city takes in the county. And I'm coming from a private sector. I'm retired, but I came from a private sector. We had 10 paid holidays, which is pretty standard. When they added Juneteenth, they took away Columbus Day. When, we've never had Veterans Day off. What was the other one? They took away Good Friday from us to give us, like MLK. I mean, we had 10 days. We did have the day after Thanksgiving, which I can't believe y'all don't have.
Yeah, that
That's
should be a given.
ridiculous. We never got the day before Christmas Eve. We were always open Christmas Eve, but a lot of people took it off. I mean, and that's, to me, that's the thing, is you're welcome to take any days off that you have. You've got vacation time and whatever, which that probably needs to be updated too, which I think Vance already said he's gonna
That's
do,
in
but-
personnel policy. That's
yeah,
gonna be
first,
updated.
I think that probably needs to be updated.
Agreed.
But, it's not like, I'm sorry, but you're going from 11 days here to 15 days. And Princeton is the only one that gives 15 days.
Yeah. Princeton does 15, Farmersville does
Farmersville.
14, Levon does 13, and then Melissa did 9, the county McKinney did 10.
Right.
But also, even a caveat to even that, we pay nowhere close to either of those communities for every single position too. So when we look at potential recruitment too, what benefits do you offer? We don't offer 2-to-1 on TMRS or fully paid health insurance or anything like that. Staff only gets 1-to-1 on TMRS. They have to pay for their health insurance. So, a caveat to even think about is what can be offered to maybe entice someone to work for our community. And maybe they get a couple more holidays throughout the year or more vacation sick eventually, or whatever, that's always something to think about when it comes to recruitment. Because right now we're fully staffed up, so to speak, it's because we have a lot of locals who are interested in working for the city. But as we grow, how are we going to compete with the ever-growing other communities that are just going to get bigger and bigger and pay a lot more and more and more than what we could ever offer, even when we grow.
So right now we pay for 11 holidays and I hear it's 15, so we're only talking 4 days. We're not like talking.
Well, and I think You said Christmas Eve wasn't on there?
Christmas Eve was the day, so currently,
Day after Thanksgiving.
day after Thanksgiving was on there, but apparently they've been doing it, Same with Juneteenth. So that's an extra 2 right there. Good Friday was done.
Yeah.
So that's 3 right there. So if you add it up, that's 14 they've been doing. It's just never been updated as such in the personnel policy. So really, it's only adding basically President's Day, which again, did you guys ever take off President's Day? Okay, so that would be the only addition. But every other community, 3 of the communities besides the big cities do that. And they're more comparison-ish.
Collin County
Nothing
doesn't
compares
take
to
off
us.
President's Day.
Huh?
Collin County doesn't even take off President's Day.
No, they're very strict in what they take off. And sometimes it's skeleton crew for them. So like,
Well, we can't afford a skeleton crew. That's our problem.
yeah,
If the water breaks or something, all of a sudden, we don't have anybody.
yeah. So,
And you're paying holiday pay.
So,
yeah. Our skeleton crew is our crew.
yeah,
Pretty much.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's right.
that is accurate.
Yeah. So like,
Do we have holiday pay? Like, if they get called out on a holiday, what is their pay?
it's time and a half,
Time and a
just
half.
like it would be an overtime. That's common
So
practice.
that would still work, it's just.
Again, that would only be like an emergency.
Right.
If there's a major water leak on our side, that we are notified of, or like a natural disaster or something like that, that would come out, which typically doesn't happen too often.
No.
Because we get the water leak codes and we can see if it's on the person's side or our side.
Brad's pretty darn good about not sending them out unless they have to go out. Because
Yeah.
Brad gets the after hours calls.
Yeah.
And if it's, hey, my water's running, blah, blah, they're like, well, I'll tell you how to turn it off. Here's how you turn it off, because he doesn't want to have to pay for 2-hour call out for someone to go turn it on.
Or, he'll go out himself.
Yeah, he'll go
Because
out
he's
himself.
salaried, so he doesn't get the time and a half.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Benefits if only 4 people in public works.
Yeah. But they are conservative with their time.
And so the new recommendation comes up with President's Day, Good Friday.
It's basically everything listed but the day before Christmas Eve.
That one was,
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why.
yeah.
And the only one he did it was LeBlanc for half a day. Again, I don't know. Don't ask me why they did it that way. I have no clue.
Any other discussion, or how do we want to move forward with this, or?
Make the motion to approve item number 10 on the holiday schedule starting, for the 2026 year, but starting today for the rest of the year.
Yeah, okay.
I have a motion by Trent, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any seconds?
Enjoy your time off.
All in favor? I ain't got it passed yet. Are you saying yes, Linda, since you
Oh, I'm saying
second? Okay. Wendy's a no, okay? All right, all approved. All right.
I'll get this out. I'll make it cleaner. Oh. Yeah, I'll get basically rid of staff recommendation. Be like, here's the holiday of 2026 for the staff.
It's item number 11, we've tabled it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, item 12, consider discuss take possible action to have a brick campaign for commemorative walkway in downtown square.
Yeah, so like you implement this, but then it may be a year before we get like it.
Yeah, so
You know, maybe,
basically,
you know, if you get, whether 30 people involved or 100, I mean, that could be a
yeah.
time.
Well, the first one was really huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it was massive.
Yeah.
So basically, if y'all give the go ahead, that will give either me or Vance, we're gonna have to go find how much we're gonna have to charge for the brick. We're gonna have to find a company that will come and remove and then install. So
I'm
it just
sure.
kind of gets the ball rolling.
But we'd have to count too how many spots, because they're technically
Yeah.
limited, so.
Yeah.
You have to say you have until this period and there's only this many.
Yeah,
And then there's a
Yeah,
couple.
First come, first
Yeah.
served.
and then we just create a flyer, carry a campaign.
Mhm.
If no one buys it, no one buys it. If someone buys it, we obviously it's to cost.
We won't pull the bricks until we know the count right.
Yeah,
Correct.
we wouldn't touch anything.
Until we actually get
Right.
the new bricks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
end of campaign, then buy
Yeah.
all the bricks, and then do all the work.
It was easier last time because the square was in the middle of being redone, but this time we'll have to
Be a little bit
switch it
more
up a little bit.
cautious.
but
Yeah.
We'll make sure.
Want to make a cutoff date?
Yeah, we'll have to make a cutoff date, a cap, and a minimum probably. I would say if the minimum doesn't get reached, then
Unless they are able to charge per brick just to come out and do it, then maybe, I don't know. But yeah, probably more likely minimum.
but I would hate to
I know,
mess with
that would
the
be nice.
integrity of the sidewalk.
Well, there wouldn't be,
If you're gonna pull out one at a time, the more you
well, that's
chip
what I'm saying. At the
away-
end of the campaign, we'll see how many,
Yeah.
and then whoever,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There needs to be a minimum order.
yeah, well,
Is there
yeah.
a company that can come out and just etch in place?
We can
I
look
can
into that
look.
too. You know,
Yeah.
we'll look at both options, and if there's one that can etch in place with probably water pressure, that's
Yeah.
what they do, cemetery stones, and we might do that, and then whoever
Just
comes.
compare the
That'd
cost.
be great.
Yeah, I'm
because
sure
that way
that
you
would-
don't mess up the ones that are already there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll.
Yeah, we'll look
do that.
into it and then do the actual cost and the minimum.
I'll just come out with a chisel.
Yeah.
I can do it with my Etsy.
Okay, so do we wanna,
Anybody got a Dremel?
so we're gonna make a motion?
Make the motion to approve item number 12.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay. All right, we've already did 13,
You know, it's an executive session.
okay. Now 12, we're going to executive session.
Yeah.
Okay, we take a, the city council convenes into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, 551.071, consultation with attorney. Did you read all this?
8:22.
At what time?
8:22?
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Item number 14, reconvene its regular session, and that's at 9:53. The city council will reconvene into open session and may take action resulting from discussion held on executive session.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to accept Vance Lipke's resignation and place on administrative leave for 90 days and authorize city attorney to draft a separation agreement consistent with his employment agreement.
Second.
And a second from Wendy, all in favor? Okay. None opposed. Okay. Item number 15, correct.
I'd also like to make a motion to appoint Joni Lawrence as city administrator until further notice.
Interim. Interim.
Interim city administrator.
Okay.
Second.
Wendy seconds, all in favor? Okay. You're back, Joni. Okay, so now item 15, correct?
Yep.
Discussion of placing items on future agendas. Wendy, you got anything?
I'm gonna hold it.
Thank you. My brain hurts.
I'm not gonna do that to you.
David, you got anything?
No.
Linda?
No.
Nope, we're good. Item number
Make a motion.
16, adjournment.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second that one.
All in favor? Okay. and that will be at 9:55.